The official FIFA rulebook says halftime is 15 minutes, maximum, no exceptions. But at tonight's World Cup final, players could be waiting close to double that. And the strange part? FIFA already got away with something almost identical before. Here's what's actually happening and why it matters more than you'd think. Let's start with the rule itself. It's not some obscure guideline. It's written directly into the laws of the game by IFAB, the body that literally invented football's rulebook. Halftime cannot exceed 15 minutes, full stop. That's the same organization that decides offside calls, ball size, even how big the goalposts are. When they set a limit, that limit is supposed to be sacred. So here's the twist. Ahead of tonight's World Cup final in New Jersey, broadcasters have been bracing for a halftime stretching anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, not 15. Double, maybe more. And this was planned, not accidental. Here's the interesting part. This isn't the first time. Just last year, FIFA ran the Club World Cup final between Chelsea and PSG, and halftime lasted 24 minutes, almost 10 minutes over the rule. Nobody stopped it then either. So why does FIFA keep doing this? One word: entertainment. FIFA wants a halftime show that feels like the Super Bowl. Reports pointed to a lineup that could include names like Madonna, Shakira, and BTS, all packed into an 11-minute performance. But 11 minutes of music needs way more than 11 minutes of setup and teardown. Stages need to appear, stages need to disappear, and that eats time, a lot of it. In theory, this sounds harmless. It's just music, right? In reality, it's a problem for the sport itself, because while cameras cut to a stage show, 22 athletes are standing on the sideline doing nothing. And that's where the science gets interesting. When athletes stop moving, their muscles cool down, fast. Trainers call it a loss of readiness. A 5 or 10-minute break is fine. The body barely notices. But push that break toward half an hour, and muscles tighten. Reaction time slows. The risk of injury creeps up the moment play resumes. Here's a moment from the past that shows just how frustrating this can feel for the players affected. At the 2024 Copa America final, organizers extended halftime to 25 minutes for a Shakira performance. Colombia's head coach didn't hold back. He pointed out something almost too obvious to ignore. His own players had been punished earlier in the tournament for arriving on the field a few minutes late. Now, suddenly, 20 extra minutes were fine for a concert, which is kind of funny in a not actually funny way. So why does FIFA risk breaking its own law again and again? Because the math works in their favor. A World Cup final draws one of the largest global television audiences on Earth. More minutes on screen means more advertising slots, more sponsorship exposure, more revenue. The extra time isn't a mistake, it's a business decision, dressed up as entertainment. Now, by the time you're watching this, tonight's final will already be over, and we'll know exactly how long that break actually ran. Maybe it landed at 20 minutes, maybe it hit 30. Either way, the number itself almost doesn't matter. What matters is that FIFA planned in advance to break its own rule for a live global audience. So here's the biggest takeaway. The World Cup final might have had less football in it than the rules actually promise. The gap between 15 minutes and whatever we actually saw isn't an accident. It's a signal that even football's biggest institution will bend its own laws when enough money and attention are on the line. What happens the next time a coach loses a match because his players came back stiff from a break that long? Will that finally force FIFA to change the rule? Or will the show simply get bigger? If you found this interesting, subscribe for more stories like this.